Hey Internet, what's going on? This is day three of just a guy going through his music collection and cataloging everything into Discogs database. So it's been an interesting couple of days. It's episode three, but we are on shelf number four, as I did one by myself and thought maybe that's fun to watch. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I've actually got quite a bit of good feedback. I've been broadcasting to my YouTube channel that I've been trying to build, doing some music and movie stuff, as well as my Facebook, just for people who are like, I need some socializing happening, even if it's through a screen. So I can see comments on this thing, so feel free to send something, and I'll try to shout you out on this live stream. But I've been streamlining this every day, so it should be a pretty quick episode. We got 48 releases to jump through, and anything that's not scanning with the barcode, I'm just going to put down and not deal with it on the stream. So yesterday we left off with some Coheed Cambria, and we were going to jump back into the rest of their discography. As this entire shelf wants to fall over, apparently. First one here, we got Coheed Cambria. This title is so long. Let me see if I can remember it without even reading. Good Apollo and Burning Star 4, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I can't. I don't know why. It's like a Fiona Apple record here. Good Apollo and Burning Star 4, Volume 1, From Fear to the Eyes of Madness. I do remember the day this came out. Really love the album. My friend Kyle picked this up, I think from Best Buy, and brought it over to my house. The Office, if I'm not mistaken, season 2 premiered the same day. So I had a house full of people, couldn't go get it myself, but he brought it over to watch that premiere. Love this album. I saw this tour not too many years ago. They played it full. I've kind of fallen out with Coheed over the years, but I wanted to go see this live, and it did not disappoint. This is a perfect album from front to back. And we're off to a good start. The barcode took very easy. I love this. I know there's a bonus disc in here. There's a bonus DVD. There's all sorts of crap. They put out a lot of live performances. I talked about that yesterday. Probably too much to handle. Another big boy, I guess this is volume 2 of that. They just call it No World for Tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure it's Good Apollo and Burning Star 4, volume 2. I remember when this came out, it was in a tiny, just little tiny cardboard sleeve. I hate those, so I had to go for this deluxe edition. It's very meaty. Bunch of discs, standard artwork. It has that big old parental advisory sticker. Back in the 2 years, we're actually saying what is bad about the album. This one had strong language. I wonder if I can get that off with the hairdryer, because it's not great. It's not great. So this is the U.S. edition, deluxe, with DVD. Perfect. So this one's obviously known for, what was the big hit on this one? The Running Free. I think that's still a great song. Sometimes it gets some play in the house. And for you that aren't Coheed Cambria fans, their music's all one big, well, for the most part, one big giant story. I think it's been made into comics at this point. So pre-album, Year of Black Rainbow. There's definitely some heavy songs on this, but this was definitely the point where I felt like it was a little too much for me. I was getting a little tired of Coheed's aesthetic and started to not go to their concerts as much anymore. But I still did pick up the next two. They did a double album, but it was released in, I think, 6 months apart or something. Very cool artwork. I do like these a lot. The Aftermath, part 1 and 2, this is Ascension. But looking at the track list, nothing's I remember it or what those songs sound like. It was too much Coheed at this point. But I did go in, I dipped in one more time. Because if you get part 1 of a double album, you have to get part 2. Aftermath, Ascension, very similar artwork. It's just kind of reversed, different colors. This one has Number City. I like that song quite a bit. Anything else, I'm not remembering to save my life. And then after this, I stopped. I did not pick up the next two albums, but I heard the most recent one is super good. And they played a few songs from it at that last tour I went to. So that one I'll probably grab, but whichever one came after this, I'm indifferent. Getting an entire Coheed collection is kind of difficult. So I think I'm just going to stop. So let's switch gears here and get into some hardcore. I really haven't had any hardcore albums yet in these shelves, but we got Winnipeg's Favorite Boys, Comeback Kid. That's very difficult to actually, because it's all black. I remember buying this at Hot Topic just because of the artwork. I thought it looked cool, and I said, Victory Records, you got me. And little did I know, one of my favorite Canada bands would be Comeback Kid. I've seen them countless times, and it's always a blast. I will say the last time I saw them was this tiny place in the South. Like 100 people showed up. It was kind of underwhelming. They deserve more. But when I was living in the Midwest, people went hard for this. So I like this artwork because the artwork's a cutout, so you can actually pull that out and it's expanded. The black is just kind of a cutout there. But that started my journey. I never picked up the first album. Probably should. But I really enjoy the rest of the lineup here. So we got Broadcasting, which was the first time that the guitarist took over lead vocals when the original vocalist left. I really can't tell much of a difference. And there's plenty of bands that I have where they've switched singers, and I'm not really that keen on focusing on the differences. It all sounds like Comeback Kid to me. I'm happy with it. Love this one a lot. This is their live album. I believe this was from a Germany show. Hello to my friends in Germany, Sebastian and Doris, if you're watching. I've probably only watched this once, but no, it's what it is. I feel like I was buying a lot of live DVDs back in the 2000s, and they've kind of gone away, more or less, because no one's buying physical media. Just this guy. All right, Symptoms and Cures. For some reason, I didn't pick this up for like a year or two after it came out. I have no idea why. I believe my friend Laura finally got me a copy of this. This is probably my favorite album of theirs. So why I slept in it for so long, I do not know. This is a great front to back hardcore album. It's perfect. But they've continued bringing out the hits. Die Knowing. I remember this came out. I wasn't a huge fan on the first listen, but I gave it little bits and I do it. They did put out a really awesome video for Should Know Better. That song's a ripper. Wasted Arrows. That's awesome live. So I'm definitely happy with what these guys have been doing in recent years. Leading into the last one, Outsider. I love this artwork. That would be a really badass long sleeve tee. And black CDs and my lights. You know, not fun. But I guess that's the one thing I really focused on. I'm just trying to scan the barcodes. So how much glare you guys can see, I don't know. I may have to get creative and try to find a way to mask all the lights. But that's it for Comeback Kid. Check them out. Okay, so yesterday when I was going through Billy Talent, I have a promotional copy of Billy Talent 2 that I wasn't finding in the database. So when I went over to my computer to like do it manually and upload it, there was a second CD in there. I got confused by it. And I guess when I moved at some point, I threw in the radio CD single for Coolio's See You When You Get There. Because at some reason, when I was 7 years old, I was really into this song. I was not allowed to get his full album because of that parental advisory sticker. But my mom said, get the CD single, we'll listen to it together. And I got the mom seal of approval. So this was funny to see. So they used to buy a lot of CD singles at Walmart in the late 90s. So I don't have the cover for this, so I'll have to upload this manually. But I thought it was kind of funny, and I'm going to throw this on today for sure. It's no Gangster's Paradise, but I'll see you when you get there. Cranberries. Obviously, we just lost a beautiful voice. I want to say Dolores. Was that her name? I'm blanking at the moment. A few years ago, she fell asleep drinking in her bathtub and drowned, which is terrible. Love the Cranberries. This is the only physical release I have. I've had their new one in the end in my Amazon cart for like a year and a half. It just hasn't gone below like $15, and for some reason I just want to buy albums for under 12. But I should jump on that. I did have tickets for that tour they had to cancel because she died, but I got this at a garage sale last year. So always fun to garage sale for media. Don't do it too often. Obviously, no one's garage selling right now, or hopefully they're not. The Damned Things. They had a revival 10 years later. I was super excited about this. I'm not a big Fall Out Boy fan. A lot of my friends are, I'm sorry. But I'm a big fan of Every Time I Die, and I'm a catcher fan of Anthrax, so it made sense. Check out The Damned Things. This is back in 2010. And then they did some tours last year, not in my city, so of course I flew. I'm like, I have to go see them. So I went back to my old stomping grounds in Chicago, saw them at the Bar Lounge, and had a fantastic time. So hopefully they keep doing stuff. Because they were touring on this new album, High Crimes. I thought it was great. Both of them have their charms, but I think hearing the songs together, it wasn't bad at all. So check out The Damned Things if you're a fan of supergroups. It's definitely more rock and roll than what you're used to with Every Time I Die or Anthrax, but it's good times, for sure. Okay, here's something that I would be surprised if people knew about. So this is a band. Where are they from? It's either England or maybe it's Australia, but Damone. Loved the crap out of this album. I think they put out maybe one or two after this. I never got them. I found these guys on the International Music Feed channel back in the day, and I had to import this from, I don't know, UK or Canada somewhere. It's pulled up as Canada. But this is awesome. It's kind of in the vein of like The Darkness, like modern classic rock, just great guitar riffs, great female vocals. I put this on all the time. I should really get the rest of their stuff. Ooh. Daughters, self-titled. No barcode. No barcode. Got into them maybe 2 years ago, right when they were going to put out a reunion album. Had to hunt this guy down on eBay. Wasn't really available in any other stores. So the case is kind of beat up. I might replace the case. But paid a little bit of money for this, but I really like this a lot. This band has coronavirus. My partner and I'm here saying coronavirus because she's crying. She's not sneezing. She can't hear me. She has on my headphones. Anyway, Daughters. Long story short, I was going to go see them in December. I couldn't stay for the show. Very upset about it. But hopefully they come again. It's very rarely that I have to leave a show. But safety is more important than music. I hate to say. Okay, leaving music. I don't have too many comedy albums. Do have David and Blacker. Saw this in Minneapolis, Best Friend. When it happened, this DVD and movie itself doesn't want to scan, so this becomes a later one. But we had front row seats, and I've never laughed so hard in my life. So, does it get a lot of play? No way. Comedy, you can't listen to a comedy record more than a couple times, unfortunately. Okay, teenage taste versus taste. I definitely am no longer following this band. But a day to remember. New old songs. No, that's Limp Bizkit. Old record is what this guy is called. Old record. The first record we released. It's not great. Doesn't sound good at all. Has a couple of songs that they put on records that sound much better, but I would have no reason to ever throw this album on. Not one. But it's cool to have. It'd probably be cool to have the original version, but I got the old record. All right, and then we got the nice foiled, for those who have Heart Edition. Boom. So again, these guys were getting big. I was in my late teens. They were touring with bands I liked, and we were definitely having fun. They got so big, so quick, and I feel like when that happens, the raw type of fans get into it. And so you got the kids that they go to shows. That's all they do, like me. We just go to shows. We know how to behave ourselves. We have fun. Once you get like the general population going to your shows, it's different. The cell phones come out, and it's just So haven't kept track of a day to remember and stuff coming out this year, but you just kind of do the same thing over and over. I like that album a lot. This is the one that got me hooked, like most people. Homesick. I'm sure if I threw this on, all of these memories would come back. Really like that album artwork. This was definitely a banger and had a lot of play back in the day for me. But again, teenage taste is not adult taste. But one of the guitar players is from Minnesota, my old stopping grounds. So, yay. So this was the point where I kind of started giving up. Really cool album art. I like that, well, it's hard to get into, like most albums. But I like that the CD's a sewer. And then they're all like, hey, we're in the sewer, Ninja Turtle style. So I like cheese like that. That's really all I remember about this album, other than there's a song about Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Yeah, you be Tails, I'll be Sonic. But I was definitely starting to feel the fatigue with this band as well. But I went in one more time because they did a self-release album, if not mistaken, and you gotta support people when they do self-release stuff. Which they did with common courtesy, unless I'm crazy. Couldn't tell you a single song on this album. I might have listened to it once or twice. Again, nothing wrong with the Day to Remember. I just feel like they got a little stale, and their fan base hasn't really aged. It's been teens. But that's okay. Okay, the Deer Hunter. Switching gears completely. We have most of the Act series. I'm missing one. I don't know why. I gotta track that down. But here's Volume 1, or Act 1. Really quick EP. Cityscape. That's on this one, isn't it? Oh, man. That's not fun at all. Look how they did that track listing. That's an eyesore. Yeah, Cityscape. That's the best song on that EP for sure. And see, I thought I had 2 and 3. I got them digitally. I didn't realize that because we're jumping right over to Migrant, which is my favorite Deer Hunter album. And this one also had an add-on edition. I forget what it was called. It was digital only, as far as I know. It might have been on. I liked that a lot. But Whisper is my favorite Deer Hunter song by far. Boom. And then Act 4. So I'm missing Act 5 completely. 2 and 3 are digital. I remember the color spectrum came out. It was so expensive. So I just opted for the iTunes release. I got the complete set versus just like the best of selection. So I have the whole color spectrum. I really enjoy that. The live tour for that was super cool. But obviously, I would like to get the collection either on CD or vinyl. But those are sought after, so I don't know when that's going to happen. All right. Dead Sarah, another band that should be so much bigger than what they are. I remember the year they played Warped Tour. It was on like the Kevin Says stage. Here, let me put this here. And everyone was talking about it. The band's band. The bands wanted to see them. The fans wanted to see them. Saw them open for Muse once. Saw them a couple of years headline. But I wish that they would had a lot more because they are so good. I love it so much. And then they put out this guy a couple of years back. They did an EP most recently. I have that digitally. But yeah, this is a band that I'm definitely still into, and I will see them if they announce another show. No questions asked. Okay, first taste of black metal today. I'm not the biggest black metal fan, but I love me some Death Heaven for sure. So we got their first release here, Roads to Judah. Doesn't really get talked about. I can't really remember them ever playing these songs since Sunbathers come out, and I've seen them a handful of times. They were one of the first shows that I had tickets to that got canceled this year. So pretty bummed about that. I haven't gotten a refund on that, if it's even possible. But when this came out, Sunbather, a black metal album in pink, people went nuts. And there are people that really like the guitar work and musicianship, but hate the screaming, and I get it. I love heavy music, so I'm okay with the lyrics, but if they would release this as an instrumental album, I think they would do well too, because the music can stand up on its own. I do have a full set for these guys, so here's New Bermuda. Again, with this band, you look at, if you didn't know anything about them, these are all EPs. They only have 4 or 5 songs in the track listing, but then you realize they're all like 12 minutes long. But they fly by. Baby Blue on this one, Luna. Those are some stellar tracks. So I'm glad it didn't seem to be like a fad. Some of these bands blow up for them, and they seem to keep going. So I'm all about that. What I'm not about is when a band puts out 3 digipacks and then decides to do a jewel case. Keep it uniform. But here's the latest one. It's sealed, so I must have got the digital file on their website. Because, it's nowadays, I don't really have a CD player. I have one in the house, but my car doesn't. So it's all going to go into iTunes, and it's all going to go through iTunes Match to Play and CarPlay. So I still want the collection. But if I have the digital files, even if they're not Redbook audio like I would, import from the CD, it's not enough of a difference to open this up. Keep this nice, keep it scratch-free. Any kids I may be like, oh, these are cool. And then maybe some of it pays for college. Probably not, but who knows. Oh, we got a non-CD case here. I got a beautiful handwritten burned copy of Death Cab for Cutie's Plans, so I can't log this one. I want to say my friend Michaela me. It also could have been ex-Shayla. Apologize. Let me know. Like Plans a lot. I've seen Death Cab twice. It's just not enough to buy their music, but I like it. Ben Gibbert's a cool guy. So, okay, one of my favorite bands. Again, Canada's the best for making music. We got some Death from Above, 1979. They've dropped the 1979 at this point. Kind of weird, but whatever. Heads Up, one of my all-time favorite EPs. They played this on a American tour 1 or 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Nowhere near me, but thankfully, the gem in my life bought me a flight to Denver, and we went and saw this. Other than the barcode not scanning, it was a place barricade, and the stage was kind of to your knees. It was so rowdy that I had so many bruises and my legs. The band had to stop like during song 2 to be like, guys, stop crushing people. Oh, I hurt for weeks. And unfortunately, because they started with that EP in their set, I don't have a good memory of it because I've been seeing just trying to bow these like 5 dudes who are just like oblivious to the rest of the crowd, which sucks. But I'm still happy to have done it. Still happy to have went. Love that EP. Ooh, here's kind of a more rare one. And actually, there is no book or spine. I want to say this is the Romantic Right EP. I'll confirm that because there's no book, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Harder to find. I can't scan this. But pretty cool. Pretty cool to have, so I'll have to do some research into that one. This is the one everyone knows. You're a Woman, I'm a Machine. Perfect album. When this first came out, I found out about them because of Conan O'Brien. They performed on Conan, one of my all-time favorite talk show performances. Do people keep track of that? Do they have favorite performances? But it was one that ended with the drummer getting off his kit, and Max Weinberg came over, started drumming as he would just sing the end of the song. Super awesome. Found it on emusic.com, had my burned CD, and then eventually at a Best Buy I was traveling to some other state, Ohio, New York, I don't know. Found it at a Best Buy and had to get a physical copy. Still looking for a good one for vinyl. It's very hard to get because it's pretty expensive. I need it. And of course, 10 years after that came out, they finally put out new music. What a waste. The Physical World. I remember I went to college twice, and I was in second college, I'm going to call it, and I left class early to hop down. Oh, I can't think of the record store. Oh, that hurts me. That says how long ago I moved away from Chicago. They have 3 locations: downtown, Wicker Park, and somewhere by the lake. Man, I can't think of it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Had to get this day one. I had them reserve it for me. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Usually, after a long wait, it's going to suck. This is perfect. But what I didn't have to wait long for was another follow-up, Outrageous Now. And surprisingly enough, they put out a music video for a song called Freeze Me, which is way more mellow and way more electronic than what you're used to with Death from Above. And I thought it was like a one-off because they didn't really announce anything with it. And then I was on Facebook one night. I got an ad for Outrageous Now. Out now. I was like, what are you talking about? It came out it was like at 10 at night. It came out at midnight that evening, and I had no idea. So instantly, of course, I'm jumping on Amazon. Very confused. So kind of a surprise release for me, maybe not for others. I think it's fine. Has some really good tracks. I really like Never Forever. Outrageous Now, Nomad's good. But if you have to rank the 3 main albums, it's on the bottom. But okay, we got 4 more artists to get through today. Defeater, another good hardcore band. I want to say they're out of New York, maybe Massachusetts. I can't remember. I'll see them once. Hopefully they come around some more. They put out new music last year. Really got into them the past, 5 years. And picking up their back catalog. I think it's very emotional hardcore. I get a lot of feelings out of these releases. So if you're into heavier stuff, Defeater's at the top of my list. Yeah, it was this guy right here, Letters Home. This is what got me into them. The song Bastards kicks off the album. It's such a wild ride. It's so wild, my phone can't even scan the barcode properly. So we'll continue. Love this. Picked it up on vinyl as well. I really like the artwork. So I think there was an earlier EP in there. Again, I think I must have grabbed it off of Bandcamp. But I do have the more recent stuff. Again, this band likes the very skinny barcodes. Oh, that one works. So again, love that artwork. Because if you didn't even know who the band was, it's sending a message that makes you think. You know, you get that stained glass. Somebody there, you don't know what's going on, what kind of music it's going to be. Probably be pleasantly shocked if you're not into heavy music. You think it might be a gospel album. You don't think that, but whatevers. But then most recently they put out this one, self-titled. Again, I love the artwork. It's all very in the same theme and style. The digipacks really make it pop. I didn't give this one as much love as I probably should have. I should throw it on again this week. Let's do it a few times in the car when it came out, but unlike the other stuff, I haven't really a whole lot. But what I heard I liked. So that is that. More comedy. Again, I was buying a lot of comedy back in the day. We got Dimitri Martin. These are jokes, CD, DVD. This weird guy. I don't know if you were watching Contagion recently, as everyone seems to be watching that movie that I hadn't even heard of before the pandemic. It was funny to see Dimitri as a lab technician fighting the good fight, making some, vaccines. But I've never seen Dimitri live. But it's on my list for sure. Got a pop throwback here. Destiny's Child Survivor. Oh yeah. How my mother let me buy this with all this cleavage, I have no idea. I probably snuck it in with the grandmother. A couple different versions here. This does not look to be enhanced, at least on the back. So I'm going to say it's it's not Canada. I don't know. I guess I'll just log this enhanced. And maybe it is. Throw it in the old Windows PC. But, I've never followed Beyonce's career as a solo artist, but I like the Destiny's Child stuff. Okay, last band of the shelf. We have some Devil Wears Prada. Back to that timeline when I was listening to A Day to Remember, and I found one band do the other. They toured together. This album is garbage. I recommend it to no one. I bought it because I liked the other stuff I was listening to. But they got better because this is bad. And some of those early fans may like Plagues. I don't like it either. So this is the original edition. There was a re-release with very disgusting artwork. This is the OG, a little more doable, I guess. But why is it so dark? Why is it so dark? I don't know. A couple of these songs made on the Rock Band Network back in the day, so I had them, and I would hurt my throat trying to sing. Hey John, what's your name again? But don't like this album a whole lot. But what I do like is this one. With Roots Above and Branches Below. Love the artwork, love the songs. I listened to it on its 10-year anniversary in 2019. Holds up. And again, I have memories to it. I remember driving to Iowa, to Chicago, all over these guys. And I thought it was fantastic. But I haven't kept up with them since this era. 19-year-old me. Oh yeah, couldn't get enough. Danger Wild Man. I actually went. There's a castle in Ohio that a man built by himself over the course of like a decade or whatever. And in there, in his prison, in his dungeon, there's a little sign that says Danger Wild Man, and there's just like a bananac there. That's where that's from. And this is that with my family. I didn't realize that was gonna be there, and that's what the song title came from. So I was freaking out. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I got a picture of it somewhere. You know what? I'm just gonna do a little bonus because I don't want the Devil Wears Prada in the in the title tomorrow. So let's just finish the ones I have. Zombie EP. I actually like this one a lot. This is kind of where they peaked for me. Quick, little storied zombie songs. They did a contest for this, like a photo contest. So I did zombie makeup on one of my friends, and we hit him with my car. Not really, but like in the photo, because like we're running over zombies. Didn't win. Couldn't say what the prize was. But I remember doing that one night at sunset, getting that magic hour. Come on, phone. And yeah, they did this on tour not too long ago. But I'm over the band, so I didn't want to go. But I liked Zombie a lot. And then this is the point I gave up on them. The Dead Throne, very different sound. I guess a little more mature, you could argue. But I have no idea what they've done in the years since. But it looks cool. So that's it. We are making our way into the D's. Tomorrow, looks like we're going to do Diamond Youth through Forgive Durden. So come back relatively same time, and we're just having fun. So, oh, hey, I have a message. I didn't even realize that. I'm so sorry. Philippe says, do you have any solo work of the Greek? I do not, but I will look that up right after this stream ends, and maybe I'll have to add to the collection. We will see. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're just having fun in quarantine. A lot of things are opening up. I'm just chilling at home so I don't die. So hopefully you're staying safe too, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Peace.